What if I told you that Jesus has a message specifically for you? A truth so powerful that it could change everything you thought you knew about your faith, your purpose, and your eternal destiny. Many people go through life feeling lost, uncertain, and distant from God. But what if I told you that you are not alone, and you were never forgotten? In this video, you will discover the urgent message that Jesus wants you to hear today. A message of love, purpose, and divine direction, but also a warning for those who continue to ignore the truth. Most people believe they have plenty of time to turn to God, to fix their mistakes, to grow spiritually. But the reality is, time is running out. Are you truly living in alignment with God's plan? Or are you unknowingly walking away from His purpose for your life? If you've ever wondered whether you are on the right path, whether God hears you, or whether Jesus has a calling for you, then you need to stay until the end of this video. The message we are about to reveal will open your eyes, challenge your heart, and transform your faith. And before we begin, take a moment to subscribe. Many people who watch our videos aren't subscribed yet. Don't miss out on powerful messages like this one that can strengthen your faith and bring you closer to God. Hit the subscribe button now and let's uncover what Jesus wants you to know. There's something profoundly life-changing about knowing you are unconditionally loved, not just by the people around you, but by Jesus Christ Himself. His love isn't like human love, which can be fickle, conditional, or based on performance. No, His love is pure, relentless, unwavering. No matter where you've been, what you've done, or how broken you may feel, God's message remains the same. You are cherished beyond measure. Many struggle to grasp this truth. Maybe life has been harsh, people have disappointed you, or circumstances have left you questioning your worth. But biblical truth tells us otherwise. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. His love does not waver, even when your faith does. Even in the darkest valleys, Jesus Christ walks with you, never abandoning His own. This Christian faith isn't about striving to be good enough for God. It's about realizing you already belong to Him. He saw your flaws, your struggles, your failures, and He still chose to love you. When Jesus went to the cross, He wasn't just dying for the righteous. He was dying for you, for me, for everyone who ever felt unworthy of love. His sacrifice wasn't based on what we deserve, but on God's plan to redeem His children. So why do so many still struggle to believe this? Because the world teaches us that love must be earned. But God's love isn't like that. It doesn't fade when you make mistakes. It doesn't grow distant when you fail. It remains steady, constant, unshaken by time, circumstance, or doubt. And in that love, there is security. The kind of security that no amount of worldly success can give. If you take nothing else from this, remember this one thing. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are not unloved. No matter what lies the enemy whispers in your ear, the truth is that Jesus Christ sees you, knows you, and loves you with a love that surpasses all understanding. And when you begin to accept that, everything else starts to change. Life is full of decisions, crossroads, and uncertainties. Every day, we are faced with choices, some small, others life-altering. And let's be honest, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Which path is right? What if we make the wrong choice? What if we fail? These thoughts can consume us, leaving us paralyzed by fear and doubt. But here's the truth. You were never meant to navigate this life alone. Jesus Christ offers us a way, a truth, and a life that leads us out of confusion and into peace. John 14:6. The Christian faith is not about figuring everything out on your own. It's about trusting God's plan, even when you don't see the whole picture. Think about it. When you're in an unfamiliar place, you rely on a map or GPS to guide you, right? Well, God's message is your spiritual GPS, directing you toward the path He has prepared for you. But here's where many struggle. Trusting in Jesus doesn't always mean immediate clarity. Sometimes He asks us to take a step of faith before revealing the next one. Abraham didn't know where he was going when God told him to leave his homeland, Genesis 12:1, but he obeyed, and through his faith, God fulfilled His promises. That's the kind of trust Jesus calls us to, a trust that moves, even when we don't have all the answers. So, how do we apply this in real life? It starts with seeking God's wisdom daily. Instead of making decisions based on fear or impulse, bring them before Him in prayer. Ask, Lord, is this aligned with your will? Seek guidance through the Bible, where His wisdom is written for us. Surround yourself with God-centered people who can encourage and guide you. When you trust in Jesus fully, you'll find that peace replaces anxiety, and clarity follows obedience. You don't have to have all the answers today. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step in faith. Because when your faith in God is greater than your fear of the unknown, you'll find that He has been leading you all along. How often do we carry burdens we were never meant to bear? Fear, anxiety, regret, and unforgiveness can weigh down the soul, leaving us exhausted and disconnected from the peace of Jesus Christ. But here's what many don't realize. True peace isn't something you earn. It's a gift from God, and He's offering it to you right now. The world tells us that peace comes from control. If we just had more money, better relationships, or a perfect plan, then we'd feel secure. But the biblical truth is different. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. John 14:27. Jesus offers a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. It's deeper than just feeling calm. It's knowing that, no matter what happens, God is in control. But peace isn't the only gift He offers. Forgiveness is too. How many people live trapped in bitterness, holding on to past hurts like chains around their hearts? Yet Jesus calls us to forgive as He has forgiven us. If you forgive others their trespasses, your Heavenly Father will also forgive you. Matthew 6:14. Forgiveness isn't just about others. It's about freeing your own heart from the weight of resentment. So how do we receive His peace and forgiveness? We let go. We bring our anxieties, our past mistakes, our brokenness to Him and say, Lord, I trust you with this. And when we do, something incredible happens. The weight lifts, our hearts soften, and His presence fills the space where fear and bitterness once lived. If you're struggling with guilt, fear, or unforgiveness, you don't have to carry it alone. Jesus Christ is standing right beside you, offering the peace and freedom you've been searching for. All you have to do is receive it. What are you truly living for? Is it success, recognition, wealth? The world constantly pushes us to chase status, achievements, and material comfort, convincing us that these things define our worth. But Jesus Christ offers a different path, one of purpose, humility, and eternal significance. The Christian faith isn't about accumulating things that fade away. It's about building a life that reflects God's message. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Mark 8:36. True fulfillment doesn't come from being the best, having the most, or impressing others. It comes from walking in God's plan. When you prioritize faith in God, relationships, kindness, and integrity, you begin to live with a peace that no worldly achievement can offer. But living with purpose isn't just about following God's calling. It's also about how we treat others. Humility and kindness are at the heart of Jesus' teachings. He didn't come to be served, but to serve others. Matthew 20:28. Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about seeing others through God's eyes, valuable, loved, and worthy of grace. Living with God's truth in your heart means choosing to uplift instead of compete, to forgive instead of resent, to love instead of judge. And the more you do, the more you realize, this is what truly matters. This is what lasts beyond this life. So, take a step back. Ask yourself, what am I really living for? Because when you live for Jesus Christ and His purpose for you, everything else falls into place. Fear is one of the enemy's greatest weapons. It creeps into our thoughts, whispering doubts, making us question God's plan, and leading us to believe that we are alone in our struggles. But here's the truth. Faith in God is stronger than any fear. The Bible reminds us over and over again, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Isaiah 41:10. Jesus Christ never promised a life without struggles, but He did promise that we would never face them alone. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to trust in Jesus even when fear is screaming in your face. Think about Peter. When he stepped out of the boat and walked on water, he was fine, until he let fear take over. The moment he focused on the storm instead of Jesus, he started sinking. Matthew 14:30. That's exactly what fear does. It pulls us under, makes us feel hopeless, and blinds us to God's message of victory. So how do we overcome fear? By shifting our focus back to Him. Instead of feeding our fears, we feed our faith. Through prayer, through scripture, through remembering the ways God has been faithful in the past. Because the truth is, fear is a liar. It tells you you're not strong enough, not good enough, not ready enough. But Jesus says, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." John 16:33. Whatever fear you're facing, uncertainty, failure, the unknown, it does not have the final word. Your faith in God does. So today, make the choice. Will you live in fear, or will you trust in the one who has already won the battle? A life of faith isn't just about believing in Jesus Christ. It's about following Him. It's about living out God's message every single day, even when it's not easy, even when the world pulls you in the opposite direction. True faith isn't passive. It's active, bold, and life-changing. Jesus Himself gave us a mission. Go and make disciples of all nations. Matthew 28:19. That doesn't mean you have to preach from a stage or have all the answers. It simply means living in a way that reflects the love and truth of God. Your life, your kindness, your integrity, your faith is a testimony. Every interaction, every word, every moment is an opportunity to point others to Him. But here's where many struggle: fear of rejection, fear of not knowing enough, fear of standing out. Yet Jesus never called us to fit in. He called us to stand apart. He said, "You are the light of the world." Matthew 5:14. And a light isn't meant to be hidden. It's meant to shine. So how do you follow Him boldly? By surrendering. By saying, "Lord, use me, however you want, wherever you want." By seeking His plan instead of your own, His wisdom instead of the world's opinions. Because when you choose to follow Him fully, you'll find more meaning, more purpose, and more fulfillment than anything this world could ever offer. This isn't just about your own salvation. It's about helping others find theirs. The world needs truth. The world needs hope. The world needs Jesus. And through you, they can see Him. So, are you ready to take that step? Are you ready to live with boldness, faith, and purpose? Because this journey isn't just about where you're going. It's about who you bring with you. Now that you've heard this powerful message, what do you think Jesus wants you to do next? Do you feel called to change something in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experience. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And most importantly, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next revelation that could transform your faith forever. And before you go, click on the next video on your screen. There's more you need to know, and it could change your spiritual journey in ways you never expected. See you in the next video. Stay blessed.